The very first day he had to work, it was a blackout in New York City. And he was in his firehouse, I believe it was Ladder 4 at the time, down by the South Street Seaport, and they were getting ready to sleep. And as a probie, they break your chops and they do a lot of funny things to you. One of the guys thought it was funny to throw a roll of toilet paper at him. And one of our other friends said, listen, don't do that because Frank has a cannon of an arm and you're gonna regret it. So what did Frank do? He took that toilet paper, fired 97 miles an hour at the guy. Let's just say the guy never messed with him again, and he signed up for the softball team the next day. First time I met Frank, we were about 12 years old. His twin brothers, who were 11 at the time, threw a rock at one of my sisters, and I had to be the big older brother and try to figure out the whole situation. So we figured it out, and then all of a sudden Frank came with his pee-wee football shoulder pads on, thinking that he was all tough. And the next thing you know, all four of us are playing basketball, stickball, and all that good stuff. We would wake up and we would say, okay, let's go play roller hockey. Let's go play stickball. Let's go play handball. Whatever it was, we did every day. We weren't sitting around. Every once in a while we'd play a video game, but we were outside all the time. His father used to whistle for us to come home because he could whistle for blocks and blocks and blocks. We would be able to hear it. And that's how we knew when it was time to come home. But we were out every day playing, you name it, we played it, we did it. And Frank was always the best at it. Through baseball, through CSI when he first started, I mean, his work ethic was bar none. I remember as a kid, 15 years old, calling him up and say, hey, you want to go do something tonight? And he'd say, oh, no, I got to go to the cage. I got to go to the cage. But he was always at, whether it was Sports Fest, hitting the baseballs, whether he was at CSI practicing, he just put in all the work because he knew as a freshman he had to earn his stripes. And he had a lot of good players that he played that were older than him, and he wanted to just fit in and do his part in whichever way he can, whether it was pitching, playing the outfield, playing first base, hitting home runs, stealing a base, you name it. He was a five-tool player.
When he came onto the field, you knew he was a special athlete. You knew he was a special athlete. You knew he was a little bit above everybody else. The way he approached the game, the way he approached his his at-bats, and the way he just took upon his business to do what he had to do and played the game the way he played it, you always knew he was going to go somewhere.
I came to watch him all the time. It was exciting because he's good at what he does, and to be there to cheer him on all the time was fun. Watching him play and doing what he does just amped me up, no matter if it was whatever game he was at, if it was hot, it was cold. I never missed a game.
He was a great player, and it was always, playing against him. When I played against him in high school, we always knew it was going to be a tough challenge, and I'm just glad he was on my team when I played here.
While he was playing, before the game would even start, he would always check out the opposing pitcher, and he would say to himself and pump himself up like, I'm going to own this kid, whether it was a lefty or righty. He threw hard, he threw drunk, that was his thing. And I would never forget, he would dig his cleats into the box, and then as soon as he knew he was okay with the pitcher, then he started smiling. He'd hit a double, you'd see a big smile. He'd steal a base, you'd see a big smile. And he just looked forward to every game in and out, the challenge. That's the main thing about Frank.
I would describe my cousin Frankie as fun. He's always there to make you laugh. He is a great father to his two children, my little cousins, Madison and Anthony. And I think he lives his life the way he wants to.
Frank was definitely a personality. He's one that he'll control the room. When he walks in, you kind of knew he was there, either by hearing him, by seeing him, or just by what was going on around him. He was a great guy to play with because you could have a lot of fun with him. Sometimes at his expense, sometimes at your own expense. But it was a joy to be around. I'm kind of glad I was around Frank throughout my 4 years here.
So when Frank got drafted to play for the Texas Rangers, it was the 25th round in the year 2000. I immediately called him, and he said to me, bro, I just got drafted to play baseball. I'm like, I know, that's why I'm calling you. And as a friend, I knew he was the most talented kid I've ever played with. played with, played against. I played against Jason Marquis, obviously, he's so talented as well. I said, but Frank just had all the skills and all the tools, and he was left-handed, he was a big kid, and he made it.
But seeing Frank play for 4 years and seeing what he did on the field, it's amazing to be. I'm just happy I was a part of that, and you could tell right away he was going to be something special from day one.
I am really proud of Frankie because he's done so much in his life to get to where he is now, and I hope he continues to do so. Frankie, if I was there with you, which I wish I was, I am very proud of you. I am happy that you are being dedicated. Keep doing what you're doing. I love you, and I hope that you take every minute of this and enjoy. I love you.
I think what he's going to look back and say, you know what, I made a lot of really nice relationships. I played for one of the best coaches in Coach Callie, who taught me a ton of things and helped me with everything, whether it was helping me try to get drafted and sitting down with me with all these scouts that would come. And I hope that he really appreciates everything that people have done for him, and hopefully one day he could do for everybody else. Hey Frank, it's Neil. I'm honored, dude. This is a great experience. We've had a lot of really good times together, and I know you should have been in this Hall of Fame forever because you deserved it, and you put all the work in. You're still doing great things in life. Keep up the great work, and you make us all proud. And I'm so happy to be here with your family and your brothers to celebrate this fine night.